Fox, I'm Electric, and I'm going to do a story time today about how a random stranger, a level 1 bunny in Jamont Township, gifted me a white bow tie once. So I was in Fox Lair, and I crashed, and I don't think I'd been doing a trade, I think I was just clicking around, and it finally decided that my computer had had enough. So I come back to Jamont Township after reloading in, and I see this bunny, separate themselves from the horde of people and spawn. And it's a little suspicious because they're level 1, right? And they have a username with capital letters in it. And I walk up to them and I'm asking, hey, how did you do that with your username? How did you get those letters? Because it looks like they're new. And they don't respond to me. They're typing something, I think, because it's making them hop around in really unnatural positions. And the next thing out of their mouth is, what happened to this game? And I'm like, oh no. So I asked them what they mean, because I'm sure it doesn't mean they don't like it. And so I think that most people, when they have capital letters in their name that are after the first letter, come from PC or Classic, because I don't think you can do that anymore when you make accounts on Play Wild. So I asked them what they mean, and they're like, this does not look like the old game. And I realized that they mean they want to be on Classic. So how do I get there after I explain to them what the differences are? And I'm like, well, you just click play now, I believe, instead of play free, because I had gone back onto the website and I was like, well, in order to help them, I need to know what I'm doing. And so it's a 2-second process. You just sign in there instead of here. And they're like, do you want a gift? And I'm like, what? All I did was tell you where a button is located. I don't think that's gift worthy. And they're like, no, I insist. I'm not going to play here. I don't need it. I'm like, well, you have a really good start. You have a bow tie, and that takes people months to get, maybe even years. Hey, so as you can see right now, I'm actually recording from my den. I went through the chat when I was alone just to make sure there was really nothing suspicious about it. And that's kind of suspicious, of me to post that, because it's not in the location I said it was, but I can do you one better. I've actually got the footage of me getting those items, because I was just so suspicious. I was like, there's no way. This is a scam. It's a scam. There's no way I'm gonna get this. And so here you go. It was real. And they're like, no, I insist. It's okay. I'm quitting here. I'm not going to play here. And I'm like, okay, that's a little bit suspicious. And they tell me to put bad on. And I thought they were just gonna let me pick one thing. And so they open the trade with me, and they put up a ton of stuff. And I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm shaking, because what the heck, the stranger is about to gift me more than I got in 6 months of playing this game. And at that point I'm like, okay, thank you, because it's obvious they're not going to use it. And I'm like, I feel so bad, because this person could just start trading right now and build up, but this isn't the game they want to be on, and so I help them get to the right game. And as soon as they give me the stuff, they leave. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of scary. So I messaged my friend about it. I'm like, hey, I think I'm a little bit suspicious of this bunny who just gave me a very large item. And my friend messages me back, whoa, I'm jealous. And then a couple minutes later, we come to the realization that that might be more suspicious than we think. And I have heard of people getting hacked through an item, like a gift, but I don't know how that works, and I don't think it can happen anymore. And I also don't know if it ever happened on Play Wild, because they seem to have computer experience instead of Play Wild experience. So I don't ever see them again, but I transfer all of my stuff onto a spare, and I let a couple of my friends know where I am, just so, I'm only going to be gone for 2 or 3 days. And so 18 hours later, I decide, hey, I think the telltale sign, if this was fake or not, is if they made it onto their PC account. So I search up their account name in the user bar or whatever, and it turns out they did make it to their PC account, so my help was useful, and it looks like they actually were telling the truth. So, as suspicious as that was, I think everyone in this game has been trained not to just accept generosity right away, because so many people are trying to obtain more items, and it's very rare for someone to give away an item of that rarity and worth. So that was like a once in a lifetime thing for me. And I was just in the right place at the right time willing to help, because there were a bunch of people in that spawn too, and nobody else was saying anything to that bunny. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have taken any notice except for the fact that they had capital letters in their name, and I was like, I want to do that. Can I ask them? So no, I never did find out how to put capital letters in your name, but they did give me a very large item, and I'm very grateful for that. And I hope they have a really good experience on PC now that I helped them to find it. So WolfieBlueAJ, if you're out there, thank you.